Let's get real. Most people are too afraid to tell you to your face that they don't like you. Instead, they hide behind fake smiles, hollow compliments, and forced politeness. It's a harsh truth, but one worth confronting. If you don't recognize the signs, you'll waste your energy on people who don't truly value you. Here's how to spot the signs of concealed dislike and handle them effectively. 1. They always joke about your flaws. We all know that person who loves to joke, especially when the joke is on you. They'll pick at your quirks, mistakes, or imperfections and disguise their digs as humor with phrases like, "I'm just messing with you," or "Don't take it so seriously." Let me paint a picture. Imagine you're out with friends and you're finally trying karaoke for the first time. You're nervous but excited, and when you get up to sing, your voice cracks a little. Everyone laughs, lightheartedly as expected. But then there's that one person. After the performance, they make a comment like, "Wow, I didn't know dying cats could be so musical." Everyone chuckles awkwardly, but they keep going. "No, seriously, you could win an award for most unique attempt at singing." At first, you laugh along because you don't want to seem overly sensitive. But every time you bring up music or singing after that night, they throw in a comment like, "Oh, is this a real singer we're talking about? Or Andrew's version of singing?" It might seem harmless initially, just a joke among friends, but over time, these subtle jabs start to sting. They don't just make fun of your karaoke attempt, they also make you question your abilities in other areas. Here's the kicker. These jokes are rarely about your strengths. You'll notice they never tease you about how great you are at organizing events, acing projects at work, or your incredible sense of style. Nope, the jokes almost always hit where it hurts the most. Why? Because this isn't just playful banter. It's a subtle power play. These jokes are carefully designed to keep you second-guessing yourself. They're not meant to make you laugh. They're meant to chip away at your confidence bit by bit. What to do? Stand up for yourself. The next time this happens, call them out politely but firmly. Say something like, "Hey, I know you're trying to be funny, but that comment really doesn't sit well with me." Or even, "I get that it's a joke, but I'd appreciate it if you didn't make fun of me about that anymore." A true friend will back off and respect your boundaries. If they don't, that says a lot more about them than it does about you. Remember, humor should build bonds, not break them. 2. They downplay your accomplishments. Have you ever achieved something you're genuinely proud of, only for someone to shrug it off like it's no big deal? You've worked hard, poured your heart and soul into it, and instead of celebrating with you, they minimize your effort with comments like, "Oh, that's cool, I guess," or "Anyone could have done that." Imagine this scenario. You've been burning the midnight oil for weeks to complete a challenging certification course. Finally, the big day arrives and you pass with flying colors. You're ecstatic and decide to share the news with a close friend or colleague. But instead of sharing your excitement, they say something like, "Oh, that's great, but aren't those courses kind of easy?" Or worse, "I thought you were working on something harder than that." Suddenly, your excitement feels deflated. You were hoping for a "Wow, congratulations, that's amazing." Instead, you're left questioning whether your accomplishment is even worth celebrating. It doesn't stop there. Maybe you get a promotion at work and they respond with, "Well, it's about time," instead of acknowledging your hard work. Or you share that you've started a new fitness routine and they roll their eyes and say, "Let's see how long this lasts." These reactions aren't just dismissive, they're toxic. The people who constantly downplay your achievements often do so because they feel threatened or insecure. By minimizing your wins, they attempt to keep you on the same level or lower in their minds. What to do? Don't let their negativity diminish your pride. When someone downplays your success, try responding confidently. "I'm really proud of what I've achieved, and it's been a big deal for me." This reinforces your accomplishment without falling into their trap of seeking approval. Surround yourself with people who genuinely celebrate your victories, big or small. True friends and supporters will cheer you on, not undermine your efforts. And if someone consistently downplays your successes, it might be time to reevaluate their place in your life. You deserve to be around people who uplift you, not those who rain on your parade. 3. They make you feel guilty for setting boundaries. We all need personal boundaries to maintain healthy relationships and protect our mental well-being. But some people see boundaries not as a necessity, but as a threat to their control over you. They'll respond to your limits with guilt-tripping remarks like, "Oh, so you don't care about me anymore," or "I guess I'm just not important to you." Picture this. You've been working long hours and desperately need a weekend to recharge. You politely decline an invitation to hang out with a friend, explaining you need some time to rest. Instead of understanding, they hit you with, "Wow, I see how it is. You can't even spare a few hours for me. Guess I'll just be sitting at home alone." Suddenly, what should have been a simple, respectful decision to prioritize yourself feels like a betrayal. They might even escalate saying, "I'd never do this to you," or "After everything I've done for you, hey, this is how you treat me?" This behavior isn't just unfair, it's manipulative. By making you feel guilty for asserting your boundaries, they're trying to maintain control and keep you prioritizing their needs over your own. What to do? Stand firm in your boundaries. Try responding calmly but assertively. "I care about you, but I also need to take care of myself. This isn't about you. It's about me needing time to recharge." Healthy relationships thrive on mutual respect. The right people in your life will understand and honor your boundaries. If someone continues to push back and guilt-trip you, it's a red flag that their respect for you might not be as genuine as it should be. 4. They constantly compare you to others. It's one thing to admire someone else's achievements, but it's another to feel like you're perpetually being measured against them. Some people constantly compare you to others, making you feel like you'll never be good enough. Imagine you're talking about your plans to start a small business. Instead of being supportive, a friend says, "Oh, that's nice, but did you see how well Sarah's business is doing? She's already making 6 figures." Or maybe you're excited about finishing a creative project, and they respond with, "Yeah, but did you see what Jason made? His work went viral." Over time, these comparisons chip away at your confidence. You start second-guessing your progress and questioning whether you're capable of measuring up. Even worse, you might begin to feel like you're in constant competition with people you didn't even know were in the race. Here's another example. You're proud of getting a new car after saving up for months. You tell your sibling, and they say, "Oh, nice, but didn't you see what Tom just got? His car is way nicer." Instead of celebrating your achievement, you're left feeling like it's somehow inadequate. What to do? Acknowledge their comment, but redirect the focus back to your own journey. For instance, you could say, "That's great for them, but I'm really proud of what I've accomplished." Comparison can be toxic, especially when it's constant and one-sided. Remember that everyone's journey is unique and your progress is valuable, regardless of what others are doing. Surround yourself with people who celebrate your wins instead of comparing them to someone else's. True supporters focus on you, not on how you measure up to others. 5. They downplay your achievements. Have you ever shared an accomplishment with someone only for them to shrug it off like it's no big deal? These people have a way of minimizing your successes, making you question if they were even worth celebrating in the first place. For example, you're excited to share that you've been promoted at work after months of hard effort. Instead of congratulating you, they say, "Well, it's about time. I thought you'd get that ages ago." Or perhaps you tell them you've finally completed a personal project, and they respond with, "Oh, that's nice, but it's not like you invented something groundbreaking." Now imagine this scenario. You've been working tirelessly to prepare for a marathon, training for months. After crossing the finish line, you excitedly share the news, but your friend responds with, "A marathon? That's nothing compared to what real athletes do. Some people run ultra marathons, you know." These dismissive comments aren't just careless. They're a subtle form of manipulation. By downplaying your achievements, they aim to keep you feeling small and dependent on their validation, even though they rarely give it. What to do? Call them out respectfully but firmly. For instance, say, "I worked really hard for this and it's important to me. I'd appreciate your support." Surround yourself with people who genuinely celebrate your successes. Your achievements, no matter how big or small, deserve recognition. Don't let someone else's inability to applaud dim your sense of accomplishment.
6. They make you feel like you're always in debt to them. Ever had someone do something nice for you, only to have them remind you about it endlessly. Some people will perform favors not out of kindness, but as a way to hold leverage over you. Let's say a friend helps you move into your new apartment. You thank them profusely and even treat them to dinner as a gesture of appreciation. But weeks later, they keep bringing it up. Remember how I helped you move? You owe me one. Or imagine this. A coworker covers for you at work when you're sick. You're grateful and make sure to thank them. But from then on, they constantly mention it, saying things like, "I saved your job that day. You'd better have my back now." Suddenly their favor feels like a debt you can never fully repay. This behavior isn't about kindness, it's about control. By keeping you in a constant state of owing them, they ensure you're always at their beck and call. What to do? Be clear about boundaries and gratitude. For example, say, "I appreciate what you did, but I don't think it's fair to keep bringing it up. I value our relationship, and I don't want it to feel transactional." Acts of kindness should come from a place of generosity, not obligation. Healthy relationships don't keep score. If someone consistently uses favors as leverage, it's a sign that their motives may not be as pure as they seem. 7. They constantly compare you to others. Nothing can feel more disheartening than being compared to someone else, especially when it's done repeatedly and in a way that makes you feel like you'll never measure up. These comparisons often come from people who want to undermine your confidence subtly or not so subtly, letting you know you're not enough. For instance, let's say you've just finished decorating your new apartment. You're proud of the cozy personal touches you've added, but a friend comments, "It's nice, but you should see Sarah's place. She has the most amazing interior design sense. You'd love it." Or maybe you're sharing a personal achievement, like learning to cook a challenging recipe. Instead of encouraging you, they say, "That's great, but you should see how good Alex is in the kitchen. They could be on a cooking show." These comparisons aren't limited to surface-level things like homes or skills. They can strike at the heart of who you are. A parent might say, "Why can't you be more like your brother? He's so responsible." A partner might remark, "You're great, but my ex used to surprise me with romantic gestures all the time." The deeper impact of comparisons. Over time, these constant comparisons can take a toll on your self-esteem. Instead of feeling proud of your unique qualities, you start to see yourself as less than. You might even begin comparing yourself to others unnecessarily, wondering why you can't be as smart, successful, or talented as the people you're always measured against. Psychologically, this behavior is often rooted in the comparer's own insecurities. They use comparisons to feel superior or to manipulate you into trying harder to please them. However, their actions can create a toxic dynamic where you feel stuck in a cycle of never being good enough. A relatable story. The promotion dilemma. Imagine this. You've been working hard at your job for years, and you finally land a big promotion. Excitedly, you share the news with a close friend. Instead of congratulating you, they say, "That's amazing, but you know, Marcus just got promoted to senior manager at his company. He's really climbing the ladder fast." Suddenly, your achievement feels small. You start doubting whether your promotion is even worth celebrating. In this moment, their comparison has stolen your joy. Or consider this scenario. You're feeling proud of losing weight and improving your fitness. You share a progress photo on social media and a family member comments, "That's great, but have you seen Jenna's transformation? She's practically a fitness influencer now." It's subtle, but the message is clear. No matter how far you've come, someone else is still better, leaving you to question your efforts. Why they do it? The reasons someone might constantly compare you to others vary. 1. Insecurity. They might feel inadequate in their own lives and use comparisons to elevate themselves indirectly. 2. Control. By making you feel less than, they gain the upper hand in the relationship. 3. Jealousy. They might be envious of your qualities or achievements and try to diminish them by pointing out others who do it better. What to do about it? 1. Recognize the pattern. The first step is awareness. Pay attention to how often someone compares you to others and how it makes you feel. Acknowledge that their behavior is about them, not you. 2. Speak up. Set boundaries when comparisons arise. For example, if a friend says, "You should be more like Kelly, she's so organized," respond with, "I appreciate that Kelly is organized, but I'm proud of my own strengths. I'd prefer not to be compared." 3. Shift the conversation. If someone starts comparing, redirect the discussion. For instance, say, "That's great for them, but I'd rather focus on what I'm working on right now." 4. Surround yourself with supportive people. True friends and loved ones will celebrate your achievements and embrace your individuality without making you feel like you're in competition with others. 5. Practice self-validation. Remind yourself of your worth. Keep a journal of your achievements, no matter how small, and revisit it whenever you feel disheartened by comparisons. A story of growth. Sarah's realization. Sarah had always been compared to her cousin Emma. Growing up, Emma was the golden child, straight A's, captain of the debate team, and later a successful lawyer. Sarah, on the other hand, struggled in school and chose a more unconventional path as an artist. At family gatherings, Sarah would often hear comments like, "Emma just bought a new house in the city. What have you been up to?" These remarks made her feel inadequate, as if her artistic accomplishments didn't matter. One day, Sarah decided enough was enough. She began to focus on her own growth and started sharing her art online. To her surprise, she built a loyal following and even landed a gallery exhibition. At the next family event, when someone compared her to Emma, Sarah confidently said, "I'm proud of what I've achieved, and I'm building a career I'm passionate about. Emma's path is amazing, but mine is equally valid." Over time, Sarah's confidence grew, and the comparisons no longer bothered her. She realized that her worth wasn't tied to anyone else's achievements, but was rooted in her unique journey. Final thoughts. Constant comparisons can feel like a subtle attack on your individuality, but they don't define your worth. You are enough as you are, with your own strengths, talents, and accomplishments. The next time someone tries to compare you to others, remember this: you're not in a race or a competition. Your life is your own, and the only person you need to compare yourself to is who you were yesterday. Do well to subscribe to this YouTube channel to learn more.